everybody. Today we are talking about school at home. How's the homeschooling going, mamas? We need to know. Oh my gosh. I'm Robin, and this is my friend Sonia, and we are Bali Moms on the go, on the go, on the go.
On the go, the go. Yeah. Yes, schooling at home. It's a new thing for everyone, I think.
Yes.
For the kids, parents, and even the teacher who have to manage to get the curriculum done and get the kids to follow. So I think to really have this new dynamic will be nice to understand that both sides, parents and kids, have a set of emotions. And sometimes they don't match, and that's why we have tension. Like, for instance, the parents have a lot of maybe fear that they can manage to have a quiet and happy home. It's not happening. Maybe stress and anxiety because they have to do a lot of things to support the child education at home. Maybe anger because the kids is not like sitting and doing the homework when they try to like get things, like a lot of tension. But also from the side of the child, they also have a lot of negative emotion because maybe also the child might be stressed because he can't see his friends and have this bond that you usually have when they go to school.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a lot of fear that maybe is the child is stressed about the virus and something happening. So there's maybe also a lot of negative emotion, and combined together from both sides could be like an explosion.
Yeah. And kids really, really do thrive on routine. So this has really thrown routine out the window for them. And so that's a huge disruption to their world.
Totally.
And then some parents are working still or working from home. And so that adds another pressure on top of all those pressures that you just talked about. So it's definitely stressful from both sides. But in the end, and we talk about this all the time, it's got to be up to the parent to manage their emotions in order to manage the child's emotions, right?
Yeah, totally. The parents really have to understand their own needs, because as everyone has to adjust, everything is kind of new and we have to like navigate with all that. So it's really like acknowledging what's happening inside. Why is the parent so stressed or so angry? Why there is so much anger or so much anxiety maybe, or sadness, and we understand, is it because there is a lot of fear regarding the child? Is that that the child will be behind? Like, what is happening? What's happening within you parents when you're in this new journey of doing schooling at home? What's happening inside you?
Well, and you talk about expectations a lot, right?
Yes, totally, expectations. So every family is very different. Like, some families have only one child, some families have many child, and you cannot manage the same schooling journey as everyone.
Right.
And it's up to you, because maybe you also, as you said, Robin, working from home, and you have to manage your own schedule around that. And so what I like to share is that the homeschoolers who've been doing that for a long time have been successful to really manage their own schedule, their unique journey, when some have to work specific dedicated time, and then they can support the child in other times, or like maybe letting the child just play. Depends on the age of the children, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Just like letting the child be more creative and be like just playing, because learning happens anytime when the child play. And also learning happens everywhere when you let the child. Could be in the kitchen.
Right.
So like when you bake, like if you're like a parent passionate by baking or cooking, bring your child, and you can learn so much more. Like, you can learn about science, like when you're mixing things together, there's a lot of science things around it. There is a lot of math too, like, okay, when you have a recipe, you have a recipe for a certain amount of person, and then maybe you double the batch. It's like, let's make calculation, and then you can talk about it. So it's kind of a language. It's like, do you like, after when you taste maybe the cookies or whatever you're baking or cooking, it's like, then you can share about, oh yeah, this is a nice flavor, and then you can really do a lot of learning around the other things, the life skills around home, or just the passion of your child, like Legos, crafts, sometimes video games too. You can learn a lot. So
yeah, and the teachers, and the educators in the world right now understand, and they are not expecting, their expectations of us are probably and not in a negative way, but probably lower than our own expectations of ourselves. And so we have to remember that they aren't expecting us to know all this information, that they have gone to university and spent years learning. They're not expecting us to know how to deal with different learning types. You know, every child has a different learning type, and your learning type and their learning type might be oil and water. So nobody is expecting you to be able to switch that and learn that in a day. So the other part of that is to use the resources that are available to you, i.e. the students, teachers that are still there. You know, I know that with my kids at their schools, their teachers are fully available to the students, but to us as well during the day. So if you are struggling as a parent, make an appointment with one of those teachers and just meet like how we are meeting right now, and ask questions and ask for their support, because they are feeling just as frustrated, and they are learning this process just the same as everybody else, but they miss those kids too. So they want to see those kids, and they love your kids, and so they want to help and support you and your children as well. So this is not a journey that you're on by yourself. You know, there's other support out there for you. So you just have to take the time. And I understand, mamas, because I'm just as stubborn about asking for help. I'm so bad at it. But sometimes, you know, if it means peace, you know, then just ask. Like it's worth it. It's worth it. You'll always be, it's sort of like a workout. You're always glad you did it after.
Oh, that's so true. Yeah. Like you have to relax on how you're going to manage the coming weeks, and not do school at home. Like don't reproduce the school system at home, because for some reason you're going to hurt yourself, your kids are going to hurt yourself, and they're going to hate school. So that's really not a good combination. So work around these coming weeks in another, I don't know, find another way so you can have really quality time. Yeah. Enjoy doing something that you don't have time to do otherwise with your child. Maybe more board games, maybe more outdoor walk, maybe more video games together. I don't know.
Well, and like give them some time too for themselves, right? Just some free time. Also. Yeah. It's
free
okay.
times, and then bond together, quality times. It's a mix of like, do other things that when you don't have that time, like cherish the quality time and cherish their own quality times, as you say, Robin. Like, they can really try doing their things that they don't have to normally the time, because they're like after school activities and running, and maybe like they're gonna do something really nice, just reading more books, more craft, more whatever.
Well, and I think that sort of the last thing that I would offer too is that every person in your home, you know, especially right now, because we're so close and so like stuck together, is that every person in your home should have a space that they can go to just for themselves, you know. So everybody in your house should feel like they have a space that belongs to them, no matter what. So maybe their room, maybe it's the bathroom, like it could be anything, but somewhere where they can go and just have a breath and be alone. And when you find that frustration levels are going up and up and up and up and up, the best thing you can do is actually separate, take a break, walk away, and get a breath behind it.
Yeah, and acknowledge what's happening. What's happening in your child's overreactions. Like, why is your child suddenly like, both parties, as we say. Like, what's happening? Simplify.
Well, Sonia, we've said this before. We could talk about this for hours and hours and hours, but maybe we'll do a second video in a couple weeks.
It's like, what's happening? And we'll be like, but be easy on you. Like, really be easy on what you're doing and what you try to manage at home. And
remember that we are here. So if you need to vent, you can contact either one of us anytime. We will make the time to get on the phone or get on a Zoom call with you and just hash it out.
Yes, we're here to support you too.
Yeah. Love you guys.
Bye.